this guy massive in the social media space. And you don't make a big deal of it.
No.
You're never going on social media like, look who works out at my gym. Look who's at my
No,
gym.
yo,
You're chill about it.
2 weeks ago, this giant walks in, Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that's Shaq. And I'm like, go give him a tour, go.
Yeah.
So he's touring him, and I'm like, all right, let me step in, let me introduce myself. The first thing I do, I don't go to him, I go to the guy he's with, introduce myself. Oh, he's the owner. We're talking, and I'm like, so what are you doing here? Shaq was like, so I want a membership. I'm like, you for real? So I was like, yeah. He goes, but I want to pay for it. I was like, I was going to charge you.
We're live. We got another episode of Adversity King. Special guest today, Angel. How you doing?
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, it's been. I know it's been. We've been back and forth,
but it's good though. You know what I mean? You shout out to you. You're in the process of not only running, a current business, but launching a new evolved version of the business that you have now. So shout out to your new gym that's about to open up.
Thank you.
Can we say it on the pod when it's going to open?
100. Yeah, I think we could definitely say it. We're looking at the 28th, which is Saturday, 10 a.m. open doors.
Let's go.
And we're going to overlap the old gym with the new gym probably for that weekend.
Yeah.
But it's on and popping.
Let's go. That's so sick, man. That's so sick. And I love following the journey because you're not your typical gym guy or gym entrepreneur, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
The only other one that I follow is Flex Lewis.
Yeah, good friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, checked out his gym. Super sick gym. Super nice guy. I've had a conversation with him. Artsy as well, kind of like creative. I shouldn't call it artsy.
Yeah.
But creative. I love the black and red he's got down there in Vegas. But I love you bring a similar vibe, but in your own way to Elevation. Has it always been like that from the very beginning? And did you just merge? Is that like a piece of who you are?
I never wanted to admit it, but I realized in the past couple of years that it totally is a reflection of who I am. Not only from the artistic world, I have an art background, but also in the sense of even the customer service. Like I think I come from quote unquote, just say humble beginnings, poor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So you start from the ground up, you appreciate a lot of things. So my whole essence was even with the team that's there, it's like, you got to appreciate the people that are coming there. Mm-hmm. We're there to serve them. We're there to provide a service. Yeah. So then at the end of the day, it's just, it's crazy how it's just kind of organically developed into what it is. And then I see it, the music, the background, I don't know if you pay attention to the sound, but it's a lot of hip hop, old school.
Yeah. Dude, which is cool as well. Cause there's other gyms in the area and I'm listening like, this music sucks. And even people who work there will be like, this music sucks. And then we come to Elevation and it's like, you got the Tupac on, you got the Biggie on, and then you might hear like some old rock or so, like you don't like, it's a variation. So it's like getting that vibe. It's like, that's a gym you could go to. And I have forgotten my AirPods and I'm still able to work out. I don't need it. It's like, I can casually, work out there. And you bring a different ambiance. And I think being in Miami now for almost a year, a lot of these gym vibes almost have like a middle schooly, high schooly type of click vibe. There's clicks everywhere. Elevation's got like this perfect mesh of feeling. I like the grungy type of feel of like you can get a good workout there. Right. You'll see on the TVs, you'll have like the big lifters, the power lifters, the guys that are professional. So it gives it a real vibe of lifting. But it also is very homey. Yeah. Of like, I'm in there and I'm working out, but I'm dapping people up. I'm making connections. Yes. You'll run into somebody that's got $100 million business and they're dapping you up, spending time with you, getting some game in, maybe lifting with you. And it's not like some of these other gyms are like, don't talk to me. I'm an online coach. Like, no. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about, bro? So it's like, it's cool what you've created culture-wise.
It's crazy how again, a reflection of even where I'm from New York. So in New York, I always give this analogy. We walk into a Subway, you have the guy who's the grocery guy bagging the groceries, and right next to him you got the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and they're all kind of sharing the same space. Something happens, they're all there to help each other. Yeah. And in essence, that's exactly how I treat the people at Elevation. Anyone that walks into the door gets the same service. I don't care if you have a billion followers, or you don't even have Instagram, or how much money you have in the account, or what you drive. At the end of the day, we're all here to change our lives. Yeah. We're all here making changes, positive changes. So there have been times that I'm just vibing with someone. I see them for like years, and then they're members. Next thing you know, like I find out who they are. I'm like, what? I was literally thinking that. I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, there's some big followings that work out at your gym, and I see them get posted like this guy massive in the social media space.
and you don't make a big deal of it.
No.
You're never going on social media like, look who works out at my gym. Look who's at my
No,
gym.
yo,
You're chill about it.
2 weeks ago, this giant walks in, Shaq,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, holy shit. That's Shaq, and I'm like, go give him a tour, go.
Yeah.
So he's touring him, and I'm like, all right, let me step in, let me introduce myself. The first thing I do, I don't go to him, I go to the guy he's with, introduce myself. Oh, he's the owner. We're talking, and I'm like, so what are you doing here? Shaq's like, so I want a membership. I'm like, you for real? So I was like, yeah. He goes, but I want to pay for it. I was like, I was gonna charge you, There's no, but that type of ambience, it's like it's dope. So then a week later, he comes back around. And then the guys walking into the gym have, kind of going under the door. And I just, don't dab him up. But I was like, yo, what up?
Yeah.
And I ignore him and he just does his thing.
Yeah.
So that is, in essence, where I feel like we're a lot different, from a lot of the other places where, again, I love the content that's behind it. I love taking pictures, kind of showing. But it's not my priority. I don't want to showcase. Like, I think that I want the trainers and members to get that experience, not.
And I think also, people appreciate that more because I think once people, do build up to a level of fame, especially from my understanding, a place where they can just be chill and not have to worry about being put on this pedestal where they have to perform, almost gives them like a homey vibe of like, oh, this is a place I can relax, I can chill. People aren't swarming me for autographs and pictures and different things like that. So it's actually a really fire play. Some people capitalize on the marketing, but I think long-term, the better approach is treat him like a friend.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think, Eric hit me with that, months and months ago when I met him. He was like, dude, that you really start to take a paradigm shift with networking when you go from looking at people as like just clients and how can I capitalize off this person to how can I just be friends with this person?
Get to know them. Everyone has a story and everyone wants to tell their story.
Yeah.
And I'm there to listen, and I'm there to listen with intention, not like, how much money you got in your pocket, and more like, yo, as a matter of fact, let me connect you with someone. Let me see who I can help you. And then nothing in return. No, it's just like on a complete, authentic, genuine side. I want everyone to win. And I think we're surrounded around so many like-minded individuals there that it's wild. It doesn't matter who you are. You're straight, you're gay, you're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're fat, you're skinny, you're muscular.
Yeah.
Everyone, same vibe.
Everybody got a home. Which is sick, man. And I typically start the pods differently, so we'll kind of reroute here in a second. But again, guys, make sure you're checking out Elevation. I want to go to the beginning though, the point of origin. I want to know, where were you born and raised? I believe you said New York. Yeah. What was life like growing up for you? What were parents like? What was that all like?
I was very fortunate to have a safe household, and a safe, I mean like mom and dad. I was only child. And my surroundings was broken families, even within my own family, like within cousins, and so I always felt like the oddball. But I didn't know what the benefit of that would be today. Because today I feel like I hold myself at a certain, I definitely accountability is one, but in a certain respect where I know what I want, and I know that my foundation has a lot to do with that, and the respect with people, the way my parents treated me. But I grew up, like I said, in very humble beginnings, poor as fuck. Working immigrant parents. They came here, came from South America, from Ecuador, and I got to see their struggle. So hence, when you get to see that struggle, not that you want to help, but it almost instills a level of work ethic. So my ass wanted to work when I was 8 years old. I was shoveling snow. I was trying to make $1. I would see my dad trying to, pick up extra hours at work. I hardly saw him, he was always working. So I'm like, no, I need to work too. So my whole philosophy on life, even back then, was I got to work.
Yeah.
So I was always grinding it out. Like, and especially in New York, whether it's handing out flyers, getting paid $3 the hour, I was a little fucking kid, And I transitioned that energy into when I was in high school. I actually was an inline skater.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you've seen these aggressive inline skaters jumping on handrails and doing all these fucking tricks.
Yeah.
So I actually did that for 15 years. That's a part of my life that no one really knows.
Wow.
And I did it almost, I guess, professionally. And in that era, I got into film production, and I started making skate videos. So by 16, 17, I was directly producing, distributing skate videos in skate shops all around the US.
Yeah.
In high school. Like, it's like, I'm thinking about it now, like, fuck, I was in high school doing all this shit.
Like skateboarding?
Inline, like rollerblading.
Or the rollerblading.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I took that passion, and I finally ended up in college, the community college, and I fell out of love with it when I started to see my professors kind of downplaying. I don't know, not downplaying. I just fell out of love with what I was doing. You know? And at that time, I'm also 19, 20 years old. I'm trying to figure my life out. And I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I'm sure you probably, Robert Kiyosaki, real estate book.
Yeah.
And a kid that didn't really understand ownership or any kind of real estate, I got into the sales side. I got my license when I was 20, 21 years old. That was during the subprime market where pretty much you had a pulse, you got yourself a mortgage.
Yeah.
And I was 21, surrounded around 40, 50, 60-year-olds making stupid money. So I started selling real estate and I did very well. So between 21 to 23, I started buying properties in the Bronx, mainly in the Bronx, in New York City.
Yep.
And 24, 25, when you're that young making that much money, you're stupid. I misplaced it. I spent it on cars, spent it on stupid shit, clubs, bottles.
BMWs. Was that your first love? I follow your story with the BMWs.
So my first love with cars was the Eclipse, the Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Okay.
I don't know if that it rings a bell.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's like a second generation.
Yeah.
So I had 3 of those.
Okay.
Always built them, sold them, built them, crashed them, sold them, built it. Yeah. And just to give you, I was pretty stupid, and stupid. I had fun. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. And when the market hit in 2008, I don't know if you recall, I also took a hit. I went from having X amount of dollars in my bank account, overdraft, short selling actually most of my properties, and back in my mom's house. Like everything, my whole life turned around.
Wow.
And I came to a point where all I had to fall back on was fitness. Wow. I started working out when I was 19, 20, and I just had a passion for that, just building myself. Whatever I did in my lifetime, what type of work, I would always end up in the gym. So at that point, I'm like, what the fuck do I do with my life? Like I have nothing. I have nothing, right? I have nothing to lose. I'm back with my mom, and I decided to become a trainer because at that point, I kind of built my body out to a little something, a little light, 160 pounds, and I was doing natural bodybuilding shows. And people just kept on asking, me for advice. So I took the personal training route. But during that time, I Googled, or I don't know if Google was around, but I researched what is the best gym to work for. And at that time, it was Equinox, 2008, 2009.
Wow.
And I worked for Equinox for about 8 years, 7, 8 years as a trainer, sales. I also learned management with them. I also worked for a few other corporate high-end luxury clubs. And that's essentially where I got my corporate background with fitness.
Yeah.
Same time competing. Then I made my way here to Miami.
So you were in Equinox in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you kind of get the insides of everything, insides, outsides of the gym development building and all. And
it's also where I got my experience but dealing with people, affluent people.
Yeah.
And not giving a shit who they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I remember one of my clients, Steven Donziger. Trade him, regular client, will always fucking come late. Like, I used to fucking curse him out. Like, Steven, what the fuck, bro? Like, I got 30, Angel, come on, I just had a busy day. I don't know, like a month or 2 months training him. One of the guys goes, Angel, do you know who your client is? I'm like, this motherfucker, Steven, he's always late? Yeah. Do you know who he is? I was like, no, I have no idea who he is. So at that time, there was this big, I remember the President Chavez from Venezuela. There was a big lawsuit between Chavez and the country of Ecuador with oil, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, this guy was the attorney for the country and was like on 2020 CNN every day, traveling to Ecuador, traveling across the world. And I finally was like, Steven, what the fuck? You tell me you do this is why you're late? He goes, Angel, don't worry about it. So it gave me an essence of like, these important people, they're regular, just like one of us.
Yeah.
And this guy he just wants to hang out with me.
Yeah.
So and that's just one case, and that just happened multiple times. So you kind of become numb to these type of individuals. And, subconsciously, I'm just learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning from these people. So when I made it to Miami, I started, it's another story, but I worked for a certain company called David Barton. And that company was not ran the way I was, at least the companies that I was used to. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And when I came to Miami, I also said, all due respect to Miami, I was like, people don't fucking work here. People are fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Sunday, 10 a.m. The store's supposed to be open. 10:30, I'm like knocking on the glass. Are you guys open? Yeah. Give me 5 minutes. Type of energy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand the concept. I'm like, I always wanted to be here, live here, but it's very delayed. So when I started working for these companies here, I came in with a different flow. I'm like, if I have to be here at 9, I'm here at 8:30.
Yeah.
8:45. where everyone else is just straggling, taking their fucking time. I don't know if it's the fucking sun or the weather, but it got me at a point where there's an opportunity here. So the companies that I worked for, I excelled here in Miami. I excelled in New York, but here I was just like, so I worked for this company, David Barton, and then, and this is where kind of elevation comes into play. I helped build this gym. I also have helped build a few other locations. So I got the answers of how to build gyms on a corporate level. And I had a buddy of mine who he had this successful monetary online pharmaceutical company. The guy he would always rave about it. He was very active on social media with it. He was, he had his athletes behind it, TRT, HRT, the whole nine. And he and I have a dinner one time. He's like, Angel, you know what? I'm going to open a gym and I want you to run it. I want you to run it, build it, everything. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious? Like you're gonna have a gym here in Miami? He goes, yeah. I partnered up with a gentleman. I don't know if you know Mike Rashid or ever heard of Mike Rashid.
Sounds familiar.
CT Fletcher. No.
Mike Rashid sounds familiar. Is he like a famous bodybuilder?
Famous influencer.
Okay.
Yeah, and also or CT Fletcher.
CT Fletcher for sure. Yeah.
So his brand Iron Addicts. This gentleman had a meeting with them, and they decided to kind of collaborate, bring the brand here to Miami. And I had no idea who they were. At that time, CT had his documentary, which I had to see, had to kind of digest the information, the brand. And I took on the role to build this gym. When I took it, I got to see some funny things, as far as the type of people that the owner, my friend that I met with, the people they had surrounded around him. And it just felt a little off. But nonetheless, my focus and responsibility was the gym. So I pretty much built his gym in about an 8-month time frame. Built one of the sickest and baddest gyms here in Miami, with kind of not knowing there's something going on in the background where the funds are coming from. Because it just didn't make sense. How are people getting these pharmaceutical type of, let's call it steroids, online? But he was very active and social and talked about it and promoted it, doctors behind it. And it was impressive, as far as on the marketing end. The gym took off. We had all of his athletes represented, and we had probably to this day, one of the largest grand openings of gyms that I've done, that I've seen. We opened doors at 10 a.m. We had a line at 7 a.m. People flew in from all over the fucking world for this fucking grand opening. If you Google it, you'll see it. You'll see all the grand opening videos. Yeah. So that only lasted maybe I think 8 months, where on February 22nd, 2017, 5 a.m., I actually lived in this building. I lived on the 5th floor facing the studio that's across the street. Yeah. So that's where the gym was at, across the street. That studio, Amper Studio. Okay. That was Iron Addicts.
Wow.
So I get a call at 5 a.m, and they're like, Angel, Dea is here. I'm like, who? I was half asleep. Dea? What the fuck is Dea? DEA. I was like, wait, the fuck? So I get up out of bed. I go down my stairs, clink, 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 loud ass steps. Yeah. And then I open my curtains, and all I see is a SWAT team raiding, like straight up military trucks, sirens. And I'm like, holy shit. I call up my dad right away. I'm like, I have my dogs. I'm come. I know it's early. Come over. Come get the dogs. I got to show face, see what the fuck is going on downstairs. I was like, I think I'm going to get arrested. And he goes, what the fuck did you do? I was like, no, I did nothing. I'm aware of this, Yeah. So finally, hit about 7 a.m. I went downstairs. Fucking, they opened the door for me. The DA guy, he was just like, hey, Angel. I'm like, yeah, we've been waiting for you. And a fucking guy grabs me by the shoulder and tells me, this has been a 4-year investigation. You have nothing to worry about. We just got questions. I was like, fuck, okay. They sat me down, they questioned me. And it was crazy to see how much, it was almost like they were in the building 24/7, which they probably were. Huh. So when that went down, one, I had no gym. I had no job. All the equipment that was there, they came in semi fucking trucks, 53-foot trucks, fucking completely took everything away in less than 48 hours. So the gym went fucking empty.
Yeah.
So now I have a responsibility where people are calling me up, telling me, Angel, what the fuck, my membership, I just paid for the year for the year up front. Like a lot of money was like I felt a personal obligation for these members. They were my members, So during that time, I remember getting on a computer with someone and trying to refund as much as I could. I still had access to the system. So I got to refund about almost $50,000 until the computer just fucking logged me out. But at that time, like, what the fuck do I do? And I went on social media. I said, listen, guys, I'm so sorry what happened. I got to figure this out. I don't know what's going to happen. At that time, the space where Elevation is at right now, a few months prior, the old owner and I that got arrested, plus myself, we discussed with opening up like a personal training studio. So I hit him up. I'm like, listen, I'm going to have a meeting because I put on social media. I want to meet the members. Whoever comes, I'll kind of discuss it in person. And we met there, right behind here, where it was just raw space. And I get chills when I say this because I told everyone, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And I don't know. And I apologize on his behalf, but I'm going to figure something out. And probably a few days later, not even a few days, like then that same day, a buddy of mine, he's like, Angel, why don't you just open up your own gym? And I'm like, that sounds easy, but what the fuck? You need money. Like, he goes, you know your numbers, you know everything. So I'll just help you put projections together, put spreadsheets, and go shopping for investors.
Yeah.
So legit did that. And in 7 days, I had like, bro, I have never seen so much money being thrown my way.
Yeah.
Like I had people calling me, like, hey, are you this such and such? I'm, such and such for this gym. I want to invest. I'm like, what the fuck? I started like, there's an opportunity here. So I did go with a group of investors. And post that, I've been with several investors. I've learned every single time. And I started the brand. I started the brand Elevation. As far as, people always ask me where the name comes from. It was, I'm big on words and numbers and trying to get creative with it. I didn't want something typical where it says iron this or strength or muscle, or I want something that's just catchy, something that sticks, something that's a brand. Like, not for nothing, not to compare. Like, I speak highly of Equinox. I love the name. It fucking rolls off the tongue, Equinox.
Yeah.
And it's people rock the brand. It's pretty dope. So and at that time, 11 was, 11 the club.
Yeah.
Was still a big hit. But everyone had the 11 hats, and I love to play with the number and the letters. So I'm like, I gotta do something, not the same, but something similar.
Yeah.
And I came up with that shit with Elevation. And I had someone design it, and I did not know what was going to happen after that. That gym just grew organically. The support that I had from my members, the support that I had from the city, it was fucking crazy. And yeah.
Where's the 8 come from?
So hence, like, I just saw the word elevation even without the 8, and I just wanted something different. I'm like, and they elevate, and it just hit. And let me say that my favorite number was 7, and it become 8. It's like, it's crazy how that number now has like been such an impact not only in my life, but in so many people's lives.
Dude, so you weren't even dreaming of creating a gym. You were just involved with building gyms.
Yeah.
And in the collapse of a gym that you were building, you had an attachment, because it sounds like it wasn't even more so about building gyms, but building relationships. Because it doesn't sound like you were attached to the iron. It sounds like you were attached to the people.
Correct.
And you were like, guys, I don't even know how to run a gym. I've never built a gym for myself. But because I genuinely care about you so much, I'm going to make it my life mission now. Yeah. Even if I lose everything, if I go bankrupt, I'm going to figure out a way to make this up to you. That's why. That's it right there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, we were talking about character, prior to starting this podcast, and, different adversities that other businesses have created for themselves here recently. And it always goes back to character. Your gut never lies.
I get a lot of people, and I'm very grateful. They're like, Angel, I love what you've done. I want to open up my own gym. That's my dream. That's my goal. But my question is, but why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do it? Well, I'm a personal trainer, and I think that having a gym, but there's more. Like, give me your why. And a lot of the times, people don't know how to answer that. Like, it's just they want to do it to fulfill their ego, to fulfill a dream.
My name on the building. I want a bigger check.
Correct.
A lot of people don't realize, like, the name on the building doesn't always come with a bigger check.
Absolutely. Actually, yeah. Sometimes it's the opposite. It's the other way around. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, and it's like, and it'll be like that until maybe you sell the business. Like, maybe that's your big exit. I've talked to guys. We talked to guys who are like, I wasn't really I was cash flowing, but that doesn't mean you're profiting.
Correct.
You end up paying your staff, your employees, and keeping them around, and losses and people assuming, oh, well, you got 10 million coming in. Well, you didn't see the guy spend 10.1. He's 100,000 in debt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's incredible because, especially, being young and starting in sales always has titles involved with it. And so when you're young, you get in sales, like, I need the next title. I need the next title. I need the next title. And you come to find out, like, really, it's just the production. It's not the title. You could have a janitor title and be making more and have more saved and have more access to different resources than anybody else. But Dude, that's an incredible story. So where Elevation is now, how long you guys been in existence? Is it 6 years?
7.5.
7.5 years. Well, that's crazy. Elevation 8. You're coming on your eighth year.
Yeah.
And you got your new location. So what is the dream? What's the why on the new location?
You know, it's and it changes every year.
Yeah.
It's wild. So since then, I've gone through a few partnerships, and with every partnership, whether it's
what are some lessons on the partnerships? This is
yeah.
I went to my first.
I think that the major lesson for me is partnerships are more expensive than a loan.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, and I'm not against partnerships. I'm still for it.
Yeah.
I think they're great when done correctly with the good. Again, depending on who you are, how you conduct.
You should be slow to partner and even faster to fire or split up that relationship.
1,000,000%.
As soon as a red flag,
out, dud. And that apply that to my personal as well.
Yeah, every relationship is a partnership.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because if you're getting a piece of my time, that means you're getting something I'll never get back. My most valuable resource is my time.
Yeah.
So now if we're saying we're going 50-50 on a gym, it's like 50% of my life is going to you, 50% of your life is going to me, because a business is just numbers and paper.
Yeah.
It's really now the business is people.
Correct.
So now I got to be around you 50% of the time. You got to be me around 50%
Yeah,
of the time.
and again, it's like I've had, listen, money, you know this, money's there.
Yeah.
Money's everywhere.
Yeah.
I get offered all these different, Angel, I want to invest into 10 gyms. No. I was like, me, I'm about character. Who are you? What do you do? What have you done? You know, or how is this going to work? Why I can't do this? I can do this on my own. I don't need your money, you know?
Yeah.
And I've gone through all these transitions with, and again, it's been a learning lesson. Like I didn't even have an attorney for the first probably two, 3 partners. Yeah. And so I could just tell you how much money that shit cost. I probably, just to throw some numbers, I probably just paid out well over $3 million just in like
legal fees.
Not even legal fees. No, just giving like payouts to partners. So again, I say that I may not have gone to an Ivy League school or college or have those type of fees, but I pay my dues in other type of ways, which I don't regret.
Yeah.
I do not regret. I think I had to go through all those hard-earned lessons to get to wherever I'm going to go to. And lastly, I realized, you know, answering your question, like, where do I see this? Honestly, I've just, in the past few months, I put together an amazing fucking team. You know, I hired a director of operations, and I don't want to say she's smarter than me, but she's fucking smarter than me.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of sense, and she has that energy, and we're just putting all these beautiful pieces together. And I think for next year is not only sustain what we have, but I want to go into the franchise model, and I do want to help people build their gyms. Those people that have dreams, I do want to do it. Yeah. I have the blueprint. I have the secret sauce, the recipe, but it's just how do I legally, you know, bind that, package it. And so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm at a point where I'm on my own. I'll probably open another. I want to open 8 elevations myself.
Yeah.
Or have them. I've already opened 7, but I mean like operating 8. And then the rest, whether it's 20, 50, 100 locations.
Would you go international?
100%. Yeah.
What would be your first spot?
You know what's crazy? I will go to Colombia.
Yeah?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I like Colombia. It has such, and I've been there a few times where there's such a presence for fitness.
Yeah.
But the gyms suck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Like these, like, I when I go there and I go to these gyms, like these people are so deprived of the good facility.
Yeah.
Like I just want to go in there. It's just fucking like, yo, let me show you some good shit.
Yeah.
Let me put it out there for you. And I know that it would be a hit. And again, and I don't, like someone else told me, it's like, I'll buy the same machines that you have, Angel. I'll put the gym together. Do it. But you don't know why I put that machine there.
Yeah.
You don't know what that machine does. You have like, no, I know. I shop gyms not because I'm trying to see what's my competition. No, I'm a user.
Yeah.
I'm an end user. So I understand your workout.
Yeah.
I understand how the trainers work. I understand biomechanically what's best, what's not, you know? So when I went to Colombia, I'm like, I'm looking for a gym and I can't and I settled for one, which is one of these commercial big box gyms, and it's packed. It's fucking packed. So I'm like, fuck, man. So yeah, absolutely.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's super sick. And I love how you have the gym laid out. And I never thought of the layout of a gym until we were on the yacht and you were talking about, dude, like it's much more than just buying the equipment and having fancy things at the gym and having cool people show up. Like when somebody's passionate about what they do and passionate about their craft, every detail is meticulously calculated.
Absolutely.
And I'm sitting there thinking, because like, you know, I've upped the amount of times I'm hitting legs now. I'm like hitting legs like 2-3 times a week. And I'm sitting here like, dude, he's got this thing laid out where there's a section for legs, but the way you navigate your leg workout is actually organized. It's not just, hey, throw all the leg equipment in that room.
You know when you notice this when you travel or you go to a different gym.
You go to another gym and everything's just like, oh,
Yes.
we just threw this around here and we wanted to impress the non-gym goer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a surface level type of, oh, this is a cool place to just pop in type deal or whatever it is like that. But like what you do really good is you still impress those people, but you can also attract the gym people. I see guys that are just yoked out of their mind.
Yeah.
There's this one dude that looks like he was in the WWE. You remember the Great Khalid?
Yes.
Some dude works out of your gym. Looks like the
What's
Great
his
Khali.
name? I think it was Lucas. He walked in. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Bro, that dude's got to be 300 and probably like under 10% body fat. Just But I'm like, that's when you know you've got a good mesh because some of these gyms are so grunge where you'll just have guys like that.
Yeah,
they just want
absolutely.
to like hard metal, hardcore place, and you won't see any hipsters in there. But you've got, like you said, like you've built like this just culture that you can have the hardcore competitor.
Yeah.
But then you can have the new guy that just 20, 30% body fat and they're on a whole new journey of life and they want to figure out like what can they do or they have different interests. It doesn't matter. I was like, you're not just going to throw that together and get that.
No.
You're not just like, you're not just going to be like, oh, I'll just copy you. Like, go ahead, bro.
And
more power to you.
You know, and I think that it's and obviously I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a meathead, and people say, oh, you have a bodybuilding gym. Yes. I think we're all bodybuilders to some extent. Women, men, we're there to improve ourselves for the most part aesthetically, you know?
Yeah.
Especially here in Miami. But I don't want to, like, it's a gym for everyone, man. Everyone is there to, you know, and it could be intimidating. Don't get me wrong. I know that part.
Yeah.
But it's, once you walk in, that's why you'll see the new Midtown location. I went above and beyond with the lounge area, the reception.
Yeah.
Where you walk in, not that it's an Equinox or Barry's boot camp type. No, it just feels real. It feels homey. You know, you want to hang out. You want to spend time. I don't know if you ever heard of that show, Cheers.
Yeah.
The old show. Everyone knows each other at the bar. The same shit here.
Yeah.
You know, some people are fucking crazy. Some people are normal. So you have all these different characters, but there is a level of respect, you know? And again, kind of going back to the type of people, like it's a bodybuilding gym, and I'll say this, there's tons of even women there.
Yeah.
A lot of these, like, people are surprised. Like, Angel, this is crazy. Yeah, but it's a very respectful area.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. And you got like trainers that won't put up with no
None.
bullshit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
You can't be a weirdo in the gym because one, the type of guys that are attracted to elevation as well, high character, valued men. You're not going and doing anything weird to anybody's girl, or if there's like, it's a safe place for women to work out as well.
Correct. Yes.
You know what I mean? Because all the guys there, like we're generally protective of the females. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, most of us got girls, but it's like, I wouldn't let some weirdo come in there and try something.
And people have been checked.
And people have been checked.
People
I
have been
love
checked.
hearing your stories of like, yes, one of our trainers, one of he's like, oh, am I allowed to do this? Okay, here, buddy, get the hell out of the gym. You know what I mean?
You know, and yeah, man. And I think that's one of the things that I don't know if other gym owners they fall into it. They're afraid to address it.
Yeah,
I don't care. I think what's fair is fair. You know,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. I don't care about losing 10 members because I'm not going to sell myself out.
yeah, not compromising character.
Yes.
You know, that's something I'm sitting here thinking when you're talking about partnerships, you're talking about relationships and just what you've built over, what would you say? You probably have more than a decade in experience when it comes to building.
About 15. Well, yeah, building like a decade, but a little over 15 years and working in this.
15 years of in the gym working space. And I'm sitting here thinking, dude, like, I think one tool or skill set that really just can't be bought, and you can buy it through some extent of mentorship, but like a skill set to help people expedite business building is almost like how you get your credit ran financially is like a character credit. Like I'm so grateful for my network of, I will take it to the extent of like when people DM me or certain things like that, I'll look at the mutuals and I'll kind of grade it off of, it's like a character credit type of check. I'm like, all right, who follows you? What type of business have they done? And I'll reach out, hey, this guy wants to do business with me. What do you think of him or her?
Yeah.
What's their character like? And that has started to save me time and money. And I can't even measure what it's saved me because I'm just, this is something I feel like I'm still an amateur in.
Absolutely.
Is being able to, because you know, it's almost like the 20-year-old on social media that's telling you, hey, I'm a life coach. It's like,
Yeah.
you're 20.
Yeah.
Like I can't even call I'm 26. Like I don't even consider myself anything remotely close to a life coach. I tell people I'm good at life insurance. I'm not PhD at life insurance. I think that's 20 years and way more results than what I've generated. I got great results. I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm pretty good.
You want to know a crazy story that relates? I can relate to that. I didn't feel any type of authority to speak in my space up until Probably the last few months.
Wow.
So, and it's like, even though I've done all of this, I've built this, and I've always had partners. So I remember telling myself, you know what, one day if it happens, I'll own Elevation, and I think I can run this on my own. I know I can run it on my own. I've been doing it. That's when I feel kind of some sort of authority I could say. And I bought out my partner in August.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% owner. I'm the only owner of Elevation. And I'm still kind of, obviously I've been successful to some definition with the company and the brand, but now I'm feeling like in my skin where I feel like, oh yeah, this is how it gets done.
Yeah.
Where I may have sounded like it before, but I know in deep in my soul, it just didn't feel right because I had people helping me, and you always need people helping you.
Yes.
But as far as even, I don't know if it's my ego or whatever it was, but it's a matter of like now I can say it. Now I paid my dues.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in. Is fucking. This is all on me.
Yeah.
Now it's 100% on me, not anyone else.
Yeah.
So it's a strange feeling, but it's also, like I feel like in such a better position to help others, help people, tell people, I want to build a gym, and I'm in the space where don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. This is why,
Yeah.
So I relate to what you said. It took me a little longer,
fire.
but
That's fine. And I think it's a lifelong thing. I don't think it's like overnight, because I don't think we're God. You know what I mean? As much as we have that Holy Spirit and that gut feeling of like, hey, be wary of this person, be wary of that decision, I think that's God's voice, that Holy Spirit inside of us trying to guide us on, hey, avoid that. That's going to lead down a dark path.
right.
But I don't think it's ever perfect. I think as human, we kind of succumb to our desires that, don't always lead to, what we need. Sometimes we, get drawn more to what we want.
Correct.
And that compromises. But as you get older, maybe not even older, you're just more mature, and you can settle those desires. You can delay gratification.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's a appealing thing, but it's not what's going to get me what I want long term.
And a lot of people never hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that Miami vibe. Everybody wants that quick thing, that fast thing. You know what I mean? And in every aspect of their life, whether it be in relationships or like, I'll see people talk about, I can't find a good relationship in Miami. Well, there's good people in Miami.
Yeah.
You're just looking in the wrong place. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Like the strip club is not where you're going to find
Yes.
your wife. You know what I mean? The low level dating app's not where you're going to find the king, the queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to find that person, go hit a gym at 6 a.m. Go hit a gym at 7 a.m. Go look in the places of growth, and you'll find someone that's growing.
It's exact Elevation. I have met my partners there. I met my ex-wife there.
Yeah.
I have seen relationships blossom, partnerships blossom. It's a great place.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place to again, depending on where you are and how you're able to receive it as well. That's another part. But if you're putting yourself out there, no, it's absolutely.
What's been some of the most impactful mentorship you've received in your life? From who? What did they hit you with? What did you learn from them?
In business, I would say my partnerships, even though they didn't last or for whatever, my business partnerships, I've always paid close attention to their successes, and I've asked a lot of questions, and I've learned as far as what to do and again what not to do. How not to conduct myself. You know why I am where I am. Like what's my purpose? I think one of the biggest things, and I guess is a sensitive, not really, but we're in Miami. I don't want to say I own a strip club, but it's a place where it's a lot of beautiful people, and I think that what tends to happen a lot, even when in the nightlife and restaurants and clubs, it's as an operator, you get sucked into that, and you start kind of dipping in your own sauce, and that's one thing I've been very, very just not against, but it's just like I work here.
Yeah.
And even with my staff, it's respectful, and I think that I try to even magnify that with my team.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because everyone has a different background, and everyone conducts themselves differently outside of closed doors, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's for me, that's been one of the things that I've learned from my partnerships and from people that I've been around. A specific mentor that I've had, I can't really tell you. I think I gravitate to different people, and I think that today, the people that I have around me, they're there for a reason, and I'm in their life for a reason as well.
Yeah.
I think we all feed off of each other, you know. Whether it's I have probably less than a handful of friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, like that when Eric invited me to, that was the first time Eric has invited me to the boat.
Yeah.
How many times? And that one time I said, you know what, Angel, this is fucking, let's just go, you know?
Yeah.
And it was great. It was like-minded people, and I'm always skeptical here in Miami.
Yeah.
You know, I get invited to so many events. I'm like, nah, I'm good, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like when you meet and you connect with certain individuals, you're like, all right, this person is in my back pocket. I'm in their back pocket. They need anything, you know? But it's mentorships, I guess, is managers, people in my life, different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life, I always tell everybody, no season's permanent, no relationship's permanent, because death is just the only permanent thing. Like there's always going to be an end to everything, but I think there's lessons and there's blessings for every season, you know. So I completely agree with you. You learn from different people that are in a lesser place than you in life, that are in a higher place than you in life. And I love, like you said, the what not to do. I think that's probably been, you know, some of the biggest things that I've learned over the last, 6-7 years in my sales journey is like, just don't do this. There's so many ways to do it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's just a red flag. Don't do that. That's a red flag. Don't do that. Because there's so many just different things you can do. There's so many, like you said, money is everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so many creative ways to get money and bring value. But like, here's the foundational, like learning new things of what not to do.
You know, I've taken plenty L's. I just had this conversation yesterday. Yeah. I'm about taking losses, but I'll take an L all day while I keep my integrity.
Yes.
All day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
take the money, but don't. I'm not compromising my
Yes.
soul. I'm not compromising my character. And I think that's where a lot of regret would accumulate in life, is if I reflect, I'm like, man, could I have been a little better on that? Could I have been a little stronger on that? Could I have been a little more pure on that? Nothing. I don't look at losing money as a regret. I look at time and questioning, how could I have been, was I the best possible man in that situation, that scenario, how I conducted that. So, and I think that's a great guideline as any human being to live and to have that fulfillment. Because a lot of people think, I'm going to get $1 billion and I'll be fulfilled.
No.
You go get $1 billion, with a broken character and a broken soul, and you see how fulfilled you feel.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I see it all the time.
Especially you having, the network you have access to. You probably know, being in Miami, how many years you been in Miami now?
10 years.
10 years. You've probably met so many people that have gone up and down with wealth and had just messed up heads and messed up hearts. Just calling you probably depressed, like, bro.
I was asked. I remember one of my partners. He goes, and we were in the business dating phase, trying to figure out if we're going to partner or not.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he goes, "Do you think money's going to change you?" And I'm like, I sat for a minute. I goes, "It could change." And I said, "Nah, I don't think so." He goes, "I don't know." I said, "No, I honestly don't think so. I think that success and money, fame, whatever, it releases not for everyone, but for certain people, their alter ego. I don't give a fuck about my alter ego.
Yeah, bro.
That's
how you're a real entrepreneur, though, because you've been kicked in the face for 10 years.
Yeah, I've been kicked in the dick like 5 times at the same.
Your ego's got murdered, bro.
Yeah.
You get your ego castrated in business.
Yes.
You cut your balls out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it's 10 years of living check to check to check and figuring out how you're going to make this bill work. You get sued here, a relationship ends, and every day you have to wake up with a smile and go, motivate 10, 15, 20 new people and sell new accounts and hope that everything doesn't get repossessed.
Correct.
And then one day overnight, you're an overnight success and everybody wants to trade shoes with you. Oh,
Yes.
I could just go build my own gym like Angel did overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 years of having your balls kicked in overnight. So
No,
it's incredible, bro.
It's at the same time, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I think, I wouldn't be thinking the way that I am today. Like today, I'm 41 years old. I do well by definition. And for me, what I consider doing well, I'm in a good place. I have a good home.
You came a long way from what you grew up in.
Bro.
How far is that distance?
No,
man?
to say that I got another home in North Miami. I take care of my parents. They live there. That's their what do you call it? Like a snowbird home, whatever.
Yeah.
And they have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I got my shit. I take care of other people. I employ a lot. These people who work for me or work for the company.
Feeding families.
Yeah, bro. They're my responsibility.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Yeah.
I can't fuck that shit up.
Did you know the story I love is when you told me, one of the employees, I think it was a lady that had been working for you so long and didn't have a car or something like that.
Yeah.
And you were like, and this is how humble you are. We've been talking for an hour and you've had so many opportunities to just and who knows how many stories you have like this, and you're like, you know what, we're getting you a car, or we're getting you a raise, or something like that. And I'm like, dude,
it's you have people that have been busting their ass for so many years.
Yes.
I find value in people. Maybe sometimes a little too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here's your salary for this amount, and it was a game changer, life changer for her.
Yeah.
He fucking broke down, you know.
Yeah.
Hugged me. I'm like, bro, relax, just work.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up.
Don't mess this up.
You gotta work. You gotta work twice as hard. But this
Yeah.
is it, you know. And for me, it's such a satisfying feeling.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it comes to like giving to people, and I used to say, you know, I grew up in poverty, and then I went out of the country and realized it doesn't really have a poverty. I went to Lima, Peru when I was 16 on a missions trip, and they took us in the mountains. We grew up on food stamps, food bank lines, and my mom was like, you don't know what poverty is, and I didn't, because I just hated our childhood. I was like, man, how are we so broke? Why are we living on food stamps? The food stamp card would get shut off. Went to Lima, Peru, and they take us in the mountains, and we're preaching, and you know, there's a missions trip, and I was like,
yeah.
Bro, America, this is
wild.
just a blessing to be here. You can't really have a poverty here. That's why I was like, it's not really a come up story in America. You just up, and then you can get a little more up.
Yes.
So it's such a blessing. Because I get that behind syndrome, like body dysmorphia, business dysmorphia. Of like, oh, I'm 7 years in. Hey, you're in Miami, somebody pulls up in a Bugatti, and you're like, damn, you know what I mean? Maybe I should be an online coach. You know?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
You know, maybe that'll change. And it's like, dude, no, stay true to the mission, stay true to your character.
Yes.
And it's not an overnight thing. And a lot of times I reflect, like my most gratifying moments are just overcoming the seasons I never thought I was going to overcome.
Yeah.
Not the big paycheck.
No.
You know, that's fun for a second. But that season of a month or a year of like, dude, this is a low. We lost these people. We lost this money, and overcoming that. That's the real fulfillment.
It's crazy. And it's like, and I think when I first started Elevation, I paid myself the most basic salary just to pay my rent, just to pay my bills. And I did that for the first 4 or 5 years. I gave myself a good distribution on my 5th year. Yeah. And then 5th or 6th year. Yeah. And I bought a house with that money, you know? And still to this day, yes, I pay myself a little more. We're definitely a lot more profitable. But it's a matter of where can I take this company? Now, it wasn't my dream to open up a gym. Yeah. But now I'm in it. Now I got several gyms. I've sold gyms as well. Now I'm like, I know what an exit is like, a little small exit. How can I build this to X amount of, you know, EBITDA valuation? And all right, what's next? You know, and even being around people like Eric. Yeah. I pick his brain all the fucking time. Eric, you got a second? And it's like an hour in conversations. I'm like, bro, go work out.
Yeah, that's Eric.
Yeah.
So what's the franchise model look like for your vision of the gym? Is it internal promotion, internal franchise ownership? You got to work here a year, or is it a buy-in?
A combination of. So for me, I think, and I'll say this now, Sarah's probably going to see this, one of my directors, and people even within our companies. I think I would love to give my people an opportunity, whether they want to own a gym later on in their future, help build this from the ground up or from where it's at up. Yeah. And, you know, if there's a region in Florida, you want to move to Arizona, you want to go somewhere, you know what this playbook is like. You know, go open up. I'm going to be there. Maybe I could finance it as well. Who knows? Yeah. But then there are other people that just are really passionate about this. And I love that. Yeah. Because I think being passionate about something, really loving it, I think it's one of the best traits to have in a business. Oh, man. The unfortunate part is that they don't know what to do. Yeah. So it's just you got this person who really wants it, will fucking be on their knees scrubbing the floor. Yeah. All right, let me give this person the tools to help them get up there. Use the brand for us to build their business in wherever sector they're in, or section or city. And the thing is, I seen so many people, and especially here in Miami, people from out of the countries, they just want to invest their money for visas, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, nah, I want operators. Yes. I want people that, you don't have to be a bodybuilder, but it helps,
like, you know? Flag carrier. Patrick Davis, this entrepreneur I follow, he does insurance.
Yes, I love that guy.
He says, he's like, man, you got to have flag carriers for your business. And that's somebody that's just waving the flag of elevation. Yes. They love it. They bleed it. They sweat it. They cry it. Yeah. And that's like that's your operator.
You know what's crazy? I remember probably 3 years in, I didn't understand how people could love a brand as much, or maybe more than me, my own brand. Yeah. Like there are people that just fucking like Elevation. Like I remember one time I saw this, that we had these stickers, and this guy put an 8 sticker on his bumper, on his windshield, his car.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would not do that to my car.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The paint, you know?
Yeah.
But people are, and it's for me, it was just like, you know what? I got to make this better. What can I do? How can I make their experience that much better? You know, not them falling in love with it more, but just like, I got to make this better. Because if they're feeling that way right now, I gotta give them a better feeling.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, as we wrap up, here's the last question I have. Do you have a new piece of equipment in the new gym, or do you have something you're super excited for equipment wise?
I got a few pieces, bro. It's they're not secret pieces. There's this one specific machine. It actually debuted in Dubai probably less than a year ago. It's a back row machine. Okay. And it's basically a low row, kind of like you're pulling a bar.
Yeah.
But it supports your hip. It supports. I gotta show it to you.
That's sick.
It's this Watson brand based out of England. They manufactured it. We just got it delivered. That machine, I think I'm the only one, at least on the East Coast, with that piece of equipment. And then tomorrow I get this line of equipment from Germany, Gemady, which are traditional chest back pieces, but there are some pieces in there that I think I'm probably the first one in the U.S. that's gonna have it. So it's exciting.
That's sick.
I'm as a meathead, as a user, I can't wait to use it, you know, myself. But I already know, I can already see it. People kind of like going around it, looking at it, recording it, trying it out. That gives me fucking goosebumps. That's like, holy shit. Like here now we have made an impact already here in Miami in the fitness world industry, this gym stuff. But now it's like I've grown this, and I'm financially able to build out something the way that I want to. Yeah. And that's going to be, that's it right there. The new Midtown. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. This is so sick. Phenomenal podcast. Guys, make sure you tune in. If they want to find more information out, or do you have any more information? Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you know, always check out our Instagram, which is at Elevation Fitness with the 8. My personal at Angel Bajana. And that's we just provide all the info, all the details there.
Let's go. Guys, if we see you at the new gym, make sure you come up, say what up. Elevation. Make sure you guys check it out. Let's go. Peace.